Welcome in, everybody, to another Laptop Pound Out of the Park baseball series. This one a little bit different. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to this series, which I am calling Draft to Glory, in honor of the many great streamers out there that do Draft to Glory series. One of them, Toogie24, who inspired me to do one for OOTP. This is a series where we start from the bare bottom bone structure of the worst players in the league, and we can only build our team up to a championship level through the draft process. That is right. There will not be trades. There will not be any free agent signings. Injuries are turned off, and no international signings either. This is going to be quite the challenge, but all teams are on equal level except for us, because when we do this draft, we are taking the lowest rated players in the draft pool for this first year. And after that, it's wide open. We can take whoever we want. So we can sign our own players. That is fine. And it will be an interesting series. All right. The rules. As I said, trades are turned off. No trading between the teams. And we are not having a DH. We are starting in 1901. I thought, hey, let's start at the beginning of a century and see how many years it takes us to win the championship. Uh, Worst team is going to get first pick every year. So that's pretty standard. Other than that, like I said, injuries turned off, because I don't want this to be a series where we have to stop the sim every day or two and fix the lineups. We're simply going to go with injuries off, best against best, healthy, healed, and I've turned down the aging speed and also the pitching aging speed. So batters and pitchers will age a little bit slower, because back in, the early 1900s, players did tend to play a little bit longer in their career. I have revved up the talent change randomness, which basically means that the players we're using won't have exactly the same real life career. So we could see a Babe Ruth that is a bust. We could see players that overachieve from what we see in real life. And again, this is historical draft, players from all eras of history. So we could get a Clayton Kershaw, or we could get a Ty Cobb right in this first draft. That's the beauty. It is random. And every draft, every year, will import random players too. If you are new to OOTP and you've stumbled across this video and it looks interesting to you, go to the site. I've linked in the comments down below in the About section. I've left a link where you can purchase Out of the Park Baseball. And if you use the code LaptopPound24, hey, you can save 10% on the game, and you too can create your own baseball environment. All right, I think that's about all. We can go through some other rules and what's part of the league as we go through the series. Just a couple basics too. I want to keep it simple. So we've disabled the coaching system, we've disabled the scouting system. Because again, that takes time, and you got to hire scouts, you got to hire coaches. And I don't want this series to be about the nuances of day-to-day management. I want this to be a faster sim where we see if we can win that championship just through the draft process. So let's get on to it. Let's start the inaugural draft. We are going to randomize the order, although it won't matter. We're just going to randomize it once. And again, we are using the Montreal Expos. We're replacing the Boston Bean Eaters. There were two Boston teams, so I figured, well, let's change one of them to a team that I grew up watching, the Montreal Expos. So yes, the Expos are playing in 1901. Hope you enjoy the series, and if you do, leave a comment, leave a like, share this out, and if there's future episodes you would like to see or future series, yeah, recommend them down in the comment section underneath the video. Okay, let's start the draft. Again, we are starting with the worst possible players. So ranking by potential, ranking by overall really doesn't matter. We are going to rank, though, by potential and take the worst potential players. So again, we're going to draft up until it's our pick and simply take the lowest player available. Maybe if there's, some that have the equal ability, we'll take the most interesting name, like Tex Vash. Tex Vash, you are the first pick of the Montreal Expos. Welcome to the team. Okay, next, again, we want to make sure we get the right number of pitchers, the right number of hitters, and low potentials. If I see a name that's familiar from the 1970s, 80s, or 90s, I may take that player. But otherwise, it doesn't really matter because as the years go by, these players won't be on the team too long. Grady Wilson, you are on the Expos. Next up, we don't want to take him. We want Grady Wilson. Let's sim to the next pick, Frank Whitman. Draft Frank. So I'm just going to go through and rather than, keep you here for the entire pick process, I will be back. We are back and the draft is complete. And before we meet our inaugural Montreal Expos from 1901, let's take a quick peek at who went in that first round. In round one, number one overall was Ted Williams. Great choice by the Washington Senators. Ted Williams, one of the best. He's going to do very well in the league. Number two, the Philadelphia Phillies selected Charlie Ferguson. The Cincinnati Reds take a more modern day player, a young Matt Cain, who will lead the rotation, I'm sure, for many years to come. Remember, this is the random league settings, which means players can come in from any year as long as they played Major League Baseball. Tex Vash was our first overall pick. Yeah, look at those numbers. Look at that gap power by Ted Vash. And we purposely took the worst players because we want the biggest challenge. And if we would have taken the best players in the draft each round, we might have won in the first season because everyone's fairly equal. So we want to start at the very bottom, almost like an expansion team. Pete Browning goes to the Cardinals. John Ward, Jesse Duria, Max Scherzer, 30-year-old Max Scherzer, recently traded in real life. He is going to the Philadelphia Athletics. Hi, Bithorn. I love the old-timey names. Bill McGee, 29-year-old Tom Glavine will be playing in Boston. Vinegar Bandamizali, or Mazel. Cool name from the past. Vinegar. Who names their child Vinegar, by the way? John Riley, Lenny Dykstra, John Healy, and Logan Webb, all first round picks in the inaugural draft. Well, it's time to meet your Expos. This is who we ended up with our pitching rotation. Again, taking the lower level pitchers. This is 1901. We could probably get away with a two-man rotation. This is the dead ball era where pitchers could pitch almost every day if they really had to. But we'll play it safe and we'll go with a two-man rotation. Let's ask the bench coach for the staff. Here are your Expo aces. In the number one slot is Sox Seibold. Now, Sox Seibold, 34 years old in this game here. He played from 1916, took a few seasons off in the 20s. He didn't play in the 1920s, and then came back and played a few more seasons, ultimately retiring in 1933 at the ripe old age of 38. We have Sox Seibold. Number two pitcher will be Fritz Peterson. Fritz Peterson in real life pitched from the 1960s to 1976. So about a 10 or 11-year career. And in his career, he would finish with 133 wins, slightly more wins than losses. So over 500 career pitcher, doesn't have a lot of stuff, doesn't have a lot of movement, but has really good control. So I don't mind Fritz Peterson, considering we were taking the worst possible choices. Again, the bullpen doesn't get used a lot in 1901 baseball. We have as kind of our best bullpen guy, Mike Wood, 24-year-old Mike Wood, who played a few seasons from 2003 to 2007 with a career 2 saves to his name. All right, let's take a look at our hitters because I love the names of some of these players that we drafted. DH is off. I like to put the pitcher in the number 8 slot. Hopefully, the game will take that and the AI won't take over, but we'll see as time goes on. We have at catcher Mark Stewart and Kelly Stinnett, first baseman Ben Taylor. We've got Kermit. Yes, we have a Kermit who played back in the 1940s and 50s. Again, not a well-known name baseball player, but if he was, he would be higher rated. We wouldn't be able to take him. John Walsh at third base. Got a few shortstops. Oswald Navarro, Frank Whitman, Grady Wilson, Hank Perry in left field, Kai Tom, Tex Vash was our number first round pick overall. Let's check out Tex. This is probably the worst player in the draft pool. And we got him. We got him. There's a victory there. In real life, Tex Vash played 1 season back in 1925, and he was 37 years old. That's what's great about this game is you can go look at the real life history and then watch him play out as a 36-year-old. So kind of synchronicity there. He played when he was 37, and it randomly inputted him into the game at the age of 36. We've got Jamal Strong. Here's a cool name, Seam Studley. Imagine growing up with that name. The teacher doing the roll call, John Crooks, David Smith, Seam Studley. Seam Studley. Oh, there you are. Yes, Seam Studley, real life player that played 1 season back in 1872. With the nickname Warhorse, I think that nickname doesn't really fit his career in Major League Baseball because workhorse for 1 season, although, he did have an average that we might want to forget. 2 RBIs in his real life career, 1 strikeout, 2 hits, 3 runs, only 21 at bats. But he's got the mustache. Look at that. Look at that mustache for Seam Studley. It is wonderful. And Khalil Lee and then Jesmuel Valentin. So Jesmuel Valentin played for the Philadelphia Phillies back in 2018. Again, not a very long career, not a very good average. We've got the typical bad news bears. That's what we're playing with in season 1. So looking forward to this. Let's go on to opening day, and we'll end off this video with game 1, looking for some historic moments. Who's going to get the first Expos hit? Who will get the first Expo home run? RBI? Win? Well, wins may be few and far between. And because we're in 1901, the Deadball Era, there weren't a lot of home runs back then. So if we do see a home run, we better celebrate it because this team don't think we're going to hit many dingers. All right, going up to opening day, let's find out who we get to play, who we get to watch throughout the series. I'm hoping to sim a season at a time and get in a draft every episode. When we look at the top 100 prospects, Let's see if there are any Montreal Expos. Nope, none for the batters and none for the pitchers, as expected. Top hitting prospect, John Riley, and the top pitching prospect is Matt Cain. Well, let's go and play New York. We are playing the New York Giants on opening day 1901. This is a lineup we're facing: Bobby Lowe, Russ Snyder, Lenny Dykstra, Lonnie Chisenhall, Garrett Atkins, TJ Friedel, Toppy Rigney, Bill Drescher, and Kerry Wood. Remember Kerry Wood? Chicago Cubs, New York Yankees. Well, mainly Chicago Cubs, it looks like here, with his real life pitching. One season in New York. Yeah, mainly almost a Cub for life, Kerry Wood. So that's who we are up against. This band of misfits. Hank Perry, Jamal Strong, Jesmuel Valentin, Kermit, Kermit Wall, Mark Stewart, Frank Whitman, Ben Taylor, Sock Seibold, our pitcher, and John Walsh. I like to show you at least one game every season. Once we start getting better, we might get into the game a little bit more. And the picture face gens I've used are the sepia ones because back in 1901, I don't think there were color cameras. I could be wrong, but we're going to go with the old school look here for the players. And again, we're going to watch the Montreal at bats here because it's the first game, inaugural season. Let's see if these guys can put up, what am I hoping for? 6 hits on the game and 1 run. If we can get 6 hits and 1 run, I'll consider that a success. All right. First up for Montreal, Hank Perry. And the season gets underway with a pop up to, looks like second base. Jamal Strong. Can he get the first Expo hit? Carbon copy. I feel like I've seen that before. And OOTP, give them a lot of credit. They allow you to look at the spray chart. They allow you to look at the ball arc, allow you to play replays. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to see a replay. 3 up, 3 down for the Montreal Expos. Let's go to the top of the second. And already we are down 1-0. But Kermit Wall is at the plate. And Kermit Wall drives one to shortstop. 4 up, 4 down. Mark Stewart. Come on, Mark. Get the first Expo hit in history. Nope. And how about Frank? Every team needs a Frank. Frank's good for a hit, right? Well, he did hit the ball to the outfield. But that is 6 up, 6 down as we head to the top of the third, and the Expos are down 2-0 now. Ben Taylor, the number 7 hitter. Taylor drives one up the middle, and we have history. The very first Montreal Expo hit in the 1901 Draft to Glory series goes to Ben Taylor. We gotta celebrate that, right? Let's take a look at the replay. 90-mile-an-hour slider goes up the middle, and we've got a man on base. 1 hit in the books. Can we get our first run? Sock Seibold, the pitcher, at the plate. He drives one to short. Is that going to be 2? It will be. Double play. And the New York Giants have faced the minimum amount of batters, 9 batters in the first 3 innings. Let's take a look at one of the pitches by Sox. Way to go, Sox, except the runner beat it out. Oh, actually, this is us batting. I forgot. We are batting. I'm getting excited here. We got a hit off Kerry Wood. 2 hits now. Hank Perry strikes out. Next up, The Giants and Lenny Dykstra drives one into the gap. That is going to go to the wall. Lenny Dykstra, with his speed, hustles around first into second base with a double. Let's go to the Expos. Top of the fourth inning, 2-0. We got 2 hits. I'm hoping for 6. Jamal Strong at the plate. Drives one to shortstop or to the second baseman. One away. Jesmuel Valentin watches that one on the inside and takes a walk. Okay. We need the crowd. We need to get pumped up here. Next, Kermit. Kermit's back up. Kermit, wall one away. And Kermit goes back to the pond. He is out. Mark Stewart at the plate. Mark drives one way up in the air. Shortstop calls it. And another scoreless inning for the Expos. We head now to the top of 5. And I have to admit, I am really, really happy. We've only given up 2 runs. 2 runs. First batter, diving play by the first baseman, and an error on the Giants. That'll put an Expo on base. Only 2 hits, 1 error by both teams. Ben Taylor, the first baseman, who had the first hit for the Expos. He is at the plate. Here comes the pitch. As the rain starts to fall in New York. 3-2 pitch, and that one is a walk. Harry Wood giving up another walk to the Expos. 2 on, nobody out. Here comes the pitcher. Sock Seibold goes down swinging. Next up, John Walsh. A single should drive in a run. Come on, Johnny. Johnny drives one into center field. That is caught, and time is running out for our Expos. Hank Perry, hitless on the day. He is not Hammer and Hank. There is no hammer in this Hank. Expos go down. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Warning, my pitcher is getting shelled. Thank you. Thank you, OOTP. My pitcher is getting shelled. Okay, I guess that's a sign to bring in someone from the pen. Dad, let's bring in Dad. Dad Clarkson. In the game, which now is 6-0. I spoke too soon. We are in the 5th inning. Let's go to the top of the 6th inning. It is now 8-0. Yeah, I'd say we got shelled. Another walk. There is hope. Just saying. Send hope for us. Jesmuel Valentin flies out to center field. One away for Kermit. Another strikeout. Back to your lily pad, Kermit. Mark Stewart at the plate. Another walk. Harry Wood. Great strikeout guy, but control not very good in this game. 2 on, 2 out. Expos looking for their first run in their league history, and that one is probably the longest ball we hit today, but still not good enough. Let's go to the 7th inning. I called for 6 hits and 1 run. We are underachieving. Is that one going to fall in? Ben Taylor? No. 1 away. Harry Wood working on a 2-hitter, pitching to Dad. And Dad flies out to center field. John Walsh at the plate has one of the 2 hits on the day. He drives that one into left field. Not deep enough, though. And we go to the top of the 8th inning in a 9-0 rout. Harry Wood still in the game. Hey, we're at the top of the order. We've got a chance. Hank takes the walk. Okay, good. 8 more base runners, and we're talking. Just 8 more. Jamal Strong drives this one to third base. They can't turn the double play, so they take the easy out at first. Runner in scoring position for Jasmuel Valentin with one away, a 2-1 count. That'll move the runner to third. We are very close to our first run of the season. Kermit, 2 strikeouts on the day already. Will it be a hat trick? Kermit drives at the short. Easy play to the first baseman, and we come so close to our very first run. Let's go to the top of the 9th inning. Once again, we are getting shelled, so we will bring in Otto Hess. Otto, pitch us out of that inning. No, Otto gives up 5 runs or 4 runs. Okay, come on. Come on, OOTP. Throw us a bone here. Mark Stewart, the catcher at the plate. Another walk. Mark Stewart trots down to first base. Kerry Wood still in the game, looking for the complete game 2-hit shutout, but Frank Whitman might have something to say about that. Frank drives that one to shortstop. No one covering second base, and the first baseman is pulled off the bag. So we have something going. Runners at first and second. Ben Taylor, who has the franchise first hit in history, one of the 2 hits on the day, at the plate. He's got a little bit of power. He drives that one to first base. It gets by the first baseman and kind of escapes the right fielder, too. We have another historical moment. The Montreal Expos. Call Grandma. We have our first run right between the legs. Remind you of some famous players in baseball where the ball went between the legs? Well, it is a double by Ben Taylor. Scores a run, and if we just cover up the 3, it looks like it's a 1-1 game. It is 13-1. Well, let's see if we can add to that. Otto Hess. That one gets by the pitcher. So a few misplays by New York here. Loads the bases for the Expos. Unfortunately, too little too late, though. 13-1. But boys, let's have some fun. John Walsh. They come home to get the outfielder's choice. Bases remain loaded. One away for top of the order. Hank Perry hitless on the day. Hammer and Hank drives one. I don't even know that one. Where did that one even hit? Did that hit like the foul pole? We need to take a look at that. That one was really weird. Fastball, 93 miles an hour. Okay, that fell in within the line, went to the corner. Outfielder disappears into the wall. The other shortstop's going to look for him. Oh, crazy game. But a double by Hank Perry scores 2 runs, and it is 13-3 for Jamal Strong. Kerry Wood still in the game. They're leaving him in there. Easy out for the center fielder. We are down to Jasmuel Valentin. Can he keep the rally going? Here comes the pitch. Drives it to the pitcher. Again, the first baseman makes an error. Kerry Wood just smokes it over to first. First baseman can't handle it. Another run scores for Montreal. 5 errors for Montreal, 4 for the Giants, 9 errors on the game. For Kermit Wall, known for his strikeouts, and again, strikes out. So there you have it. the New York Giants will defeat the Montreal Expos in Game 1 of the inaugural season of the Draft to Glory series. We knew this was going to happen because we took the worst players in the draft. Here is your box score. Kerry Wood gets the complete game victory, giving up 4 runs, 1 earned run. Sock Siebold takes the loss, 13 hits, only 2 earned runs. So we'll give him a break. 8 runs scored when he was pitching, but only 2 of them earned. Montreal gets hits from Perry, 2 hits from Ben Taylor. Ben, you may be our captain. On opening day, you get 2, including a double, an RBI, and a walk. We're calling it now. Ben Taylor is the captain of the Expos. Okay, and we get a nice achievement here. 9 men come to the plate in the 9th inning. Fantastic. Okay, well, I think we'll leave it there. Ben Taylor, Montreal Expo captain, our player of the game. Thank you guys for tuning in to this first episode. We will be back and continue on the Draft to Glory series. A little bit of a taste of what's to come.
Told me something the other day. I'd like to pass it on to you. I believe what he said to be true. He said we're here for a good time, not a long time. So have a good time. The sun can't shine every day, and the sun is shining in this rainy city, and the sun is shining